Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Yes folks, my federal Corvette has got itself into a little bit of a problem. I've incurred quite a hefty bounty of some 27.7 million credits. Well, I thought it'd be a good idea that on my stream that I do on a Saturday and Sunday, that the players could band together and have a go at taking out the Corvette. I wasn't going to fight back. I was going to put all my pips to shields and see how long it took them to wear it down and finally destroy the ship. Here we go. So as some of you may or may not know, I tend to stream on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon about 3 o'clock GMT. Anyway, I've been doing some missions and I incurred quite a hefty bounty, 27.6. Give or take 27.7 million credits. And I thought, well, why not spread the love around to some of the commanders who also join the stream. So with my Corvette, I've got prismatic shields and I've got them engineered up with a deep charge. Also some shield boosters, some assorted weaponry, also engineered. You know, it's my pride and joy and it's my go-to ship for a bit of combat. I flew away from my fleet carrier and as a result of this, I got to a safe distance and then invited the other commanders to come in and start having a go. Well, they certainly did, and this is effectively what happened. It did take a long time for them to actually wear the shields down in the ships that they brought, and it was a Vulture and an Eagle, and then eventually some other commander turned up in a Corvette and put me out of my misery. All that was great, but it does show, just by sitting there with this ship, with your shield boosters turned on, all your pips to the shields, you can withstand quite a sustained assault. Now we're going to get some different shield effects as well when Odyssey hits later on this month. But even though quite a good and spectacular video and a good outing and good effort by the commanders as they zoom around like flies around this Federation Corvette. Now the Federation or Federal Corvette is a ship manufactured by Core Dynamics for the Federation. It's in the name, you know. It serves as the Federal Navy's counterpart to the Imperial Cutter. And to buy this, you require to have achieved the Federal Navy rank of Rear Admiral. So you gotta be up there, right? Designed from the ground up for combat, and what a combat ship it is. It's a destroyer of Anacondas, a destroyer of other Corvettes. There's not much with the right configuration can these ships not put down. Yes, you know, when faced by loads of smaller ships, it can lose out in regards to its maneuverability. But even though, you know, it's still a force to be reckoned with. The Federal Corvette boasts a mix of potential firepower and surprising agility. Well, when you say surprising agility, it's not bad. I think the Cutter's probably got it on agility. Okay, that make it a fearsome threat in any battle. The Federal Corvette is the smallest and most common warship fielded by the Federal Navy and carries out a varied duties including long-range patrol, peacekeeping and pirate suppression. And we've certainly been doing some pirate suppression in this. Either way, when they can't go and deploy a big old Farragut battle class cruiser, they send in the Federal Corvettes. Now, if you want to compare the Federal Corvette with the Anaconda and the Imperial Cutter, these are what they call the Big Three. The Big Three then switched up to the Big Four when the Type 10 hit, and who knows what we're going to get in regards to Odyssey. Either way, it is a force to be reckoned with, and the Federal Corvette is totally specialised up for combat, while the Imperial Cutter and Anaconda are more multi-purpose. The Cutter can get a slightly better jump range, and we know the Anaconda's got a better jump range as well, but the Federation Corvette, with its hardpoint placement as well, allows you to place a hell of a lot of fire down on your enemies with a minimal time of risk. Now for me, as I mentioned earlier on, I put prismatics on there. Good old Type 7 or Class 7 prismatic shield generator. Now, it's a weaker shield than what you can typically put on the Cutter and the Type 10. So you know, and you got better armour, so prismatics is the way to go, I think. Also with some good shield cell banks as well, just to recharge those shields as well, and also fill utility slots up with shield boosters. Now, if you want to use your Corvette to carry cargo, what a waste. But it can do, because it's a big old beast, and it can carry up to, in the right configuration, about 620, 618 tons of cargo, making it a really heavily armed freighter. But why would you want to? It's got a terrible jump range. You'd have to fit a good old Guardian frameshift drive extender on there, booster on there. To engineer your frameshift drive to the very ends of the earth just to get some sort of decent jump range out of it. And then with all these additional modules, you're cutting down on your cargo space. And there are better ships to do that anyway, like the Type 9. If you're into flying big old cargo ships around, then the Type 9 could be for you. And this low jump range, right? The disadvantage of this is only ever exasperated by the fact that to try and increase it, you've got to get away from putting in additional module reinforcement. And modules on this ship can quite easily be taken out by smaller craft. Fleet dangerous, for me. Every ship has its purpose. Anaconda, it's jump. Big old jumping and lay a bit of firepower down. For the cutter, it looks cool. Pretty decent jump range on it as well. I mean, I use mine for mining. For this, it's combat. Plain and simple. Combat. Just like the Fer-de-Lance and the Vulture is all about combat. I use it for bounty hunting. I use it for assassination missions. Anything like that where I've got to go head to head with other NPCs or even other commanders, to be honest with you. This ship so far hasn't failed me. Times it has failed me is when I've been too close and I've looked away from the keyboard or had to get up and answer the door, that sort of thing, and I've left it too near a pad, or it's gone into a sun and it's burnt up from ridiculous uses like that. Failing that though, it's a tank. That's all you can really say about it. A huge tank. Let's talk about hard points then. The Federal Corvette has two huge hard points that are mounted behind the cockpit. And in this case, I've got them fitted up with miniguns. Well, I say miniguns, multi-cannons. Big old honking multi-cannons. And that word cannon is apt for it because they are absolutely huge. I've got them overcharged. I've got high capacity magazines on them as well. Then what's next? So class 4 weapons. That's the good thing about it. And for those, beam weapons. Good old overcharged beam weapons with the old thermal vent on it. You want to keep that ship nice and frosty because heat when firing that amount of weapons off at any target is not going to be your friend. So get them all engineered and engineered up to the beans. And then two small hard points on the nose. I've got more multi-cannons on there as well. You know, overpowered, high capacity magazines, that sort of thing. Though in hindsight, I might well think about putting something like corrosive shells on there, just to aid against some of the harder NPCs or players you can come across. It's something I'm thinking about. And where would any Federal Corvette be, right, without a fighter hangar? Now, generally, you get a class 5 in there, two fighters in the hangar, and it's up to you in regards to what NPC you put in there to fly, or you can use multi-crew, should you ever want to, and put a crew member in it. I use Taipans generally, and they're fitted out with beam lasers. So in regards to our commanders and what's going on here, they've taken the shields down, They've made a right old scoring mess. They've also taken my power out and power distributors and going for an easy kill by taking out the modules. And as we said earlier on, the module placement on this is its one disadvantage. It's quite easy for commanders in smaller ships to take out the modules and therefore disable the ship. But if you're heading straight for somebody and you keep the nose pointed at them and keep the fire pointed at them, then really you're not going to lose out. As you can see, a commander has turned up with another Federal Corvette who's going to start laying some power down. He's after the bounty for himself. Also worth mentioning as well that you've got 8 utility mounts to fill up. Now I filled mine generally with a kill warrant scanner, because you've got to have one of those. Get that additional bounty. And then after that, it's all about filling it up with shield boosters. Because, let's face it, that's kind of what you need. Now, as the Corvette's turned up and is laying fire down on me, my hull is starting to crumble. I'm down to 37%. Even a reboot to try and get some systems online is never going to go well. This ship is due to explode at any minute, especially with the amount of fire that they're laying on the ship itself. So all in all, and you see in this real time, we're up to about 11 minutes. And all the explosions across the hull as the beam weapons lay into it. But who's going to get the killer shot? But with this ship now totally dead in the water, we're just waiting for the inevitable. Even the little Eagle is having a good old go with the other ships pounding into the hull. Now if you missed this on the stream, don't worry. Here comes the explosion, there it is, and I am then returned back to the rebuy screen. So anyway, I've been Ricardo, thanks very much for watching the destruction of my Federation or Federal Corvette. They had a percentage of the bounty, they were happy with that. Also, I filled my hull full of some materials. That would have been jettisoned out. And if they had any cargo space, they would have picked that up as well. And all that just for the fun of the game. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you've already done so, and if you're still with me. And check out the streams on the weekend. Stay safe, and see you soon.